Yes, sir. Mace, Chase, Doughboys, Two Bros. Back with more we talking. A lot of stuff to talk about. First of all, college football is finally back.
Bunch of walk downs, bunch of blowouts.
Yeah, it's an L week. You know how it is in the beginning, like in the first, the first couple of weeks. Like I feel like that's always like the worst part about college football is that there's so many teams and so many matchups that some weeks is gonna be like this where it's just like
they always stack the Mickey matchups.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of blowouts. Like it's just like obviously this team is gonna beat this team, but I mean the Colorado, what was it, North Dakota State? Yeah. That game was pretty good. Yeah. That was a movie.
It shouldn't have been.
It really shouldn't have been. Which, like, if you're a fan of Colorado or you really want them to do good, that's not a good sign. Because based on that, any team that's actually legit is gonna run Colorado. They're still weak on the defense. Like, they're still getting beat by mesh routes. They still can't run the ball. The offensive line looks bad. Like, outside of, Shadur Sanders, Travis Hunter, and then Jimmy, what's his name?
I don't even know.
Jimmy Jr. or whatever. Number 5. He outside of them, like the offensive group, it really isn't much, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, and they're gonna struggle when they have to go against ranked teams and just bigger matchups, but. I mean, it was an entertaining game nonetheless. Yeah. Like,
I mean, Hunter and Shadur were cooking.
Yeah, I mean,
they were cooking. Travis bitched some people, bro.
Bro, that touchdown at the end. I mean,
the
Selly was tough too. The Selly, just everything about it was just like super, super tough. I mean, I think he had like $140 or something like that.
And
I mean, just an insane day. Like.
I just saw that his Heisman odds went up from 5,000 before the game, like plus 5,000 to plus 2,500.
I mean, there's a lot of good players for sure, but I think that he's definitely somebody that is going to be in contention for the Heisman just because he plays on defense as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think.
But they throw it to him so much too. Like he's their third down guy every play.
It's because he can run every route. He's nasty. Like, he makes crazy catches. Mm-hmm. I think they said he only sat out 5 snaps last night or something. Like, I mean, how do you not give him the Heisman Trophy? He's playing corner. He's playing receiver. And good at both. It's not like he's doing both.
No,
he's mid and he's doing okay at receiver. He's doing okay at cornerback. Sometimes he gets burnt. It's like, no, he's locking up at corner. He's getting $140 and crazy touchdowns, crazy catches at receiver. I don't know. He looks like the early Heisman favorite.
Yeah.
Based on what I've seen so far. I mean, we still got to see what happens Saturday. A bunch of other ranked teams play, but yeah, I don't know. Colorado. Mickey team, they're like middle of the pack. Good air raid offense, but if the O-line is gonna be like that, I think the running back had 9 carries for 20 yards. That's not gonna get it done, man. Like, that's not gonna get it done.
The quarterback for the other team had more rushing yards.
Yo, the quarterback for the other team, the quarterback for North Dakota State, Cam Miller.
Yeah,
I looked him up, bro. He was looking like. That dude was looking crisp last night. I mean,
he was just making the right reads
the right reads. I think he had 16 carries for like 90 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Like, this dude's Josh Allen or something. Mm-hmm. Like, this dude was scrambling everywhere. And then if they would have had probably 15 more seconds at the end of the game, they'd probably close it out.
That clock run off too was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
they were.
I was looking. Yeah, the clock was running down weird and stuff, but. Even on that last drive, the 2 minute, or not even the 2 minute drill, they had under a minute, but he was making.
They had 30 seconds.
He was rolling out to the right and flipping his hips and hitting dots to the, like. I mean, this dude was slicing, dude. I was very. he was probably the most impressive, like underrated person, like out of the game. Like you expected Travis Hunter to have a good game. You expected Sanders, but I mean, for him to go out there and he had that dog in him, man. I mean, he was different. But who played Saturday? Notre Dame and A&M.
Yeah, at A&M, and Georgia and Clemson, right? Georgia. Clemson.
Yeah, I think it's Georgia Clemson.
Georgia Clemson early, Notre Dame A&M late.
You got Notre Dame A&M. I want Notre Dame to absolutely run A&M. I don't like.
We don't fuck with Aggies.
Like I don't know. I've just never been.
They're the Cowboys of college football.
I've never been the biggest Aggie guy. They've had some good players and some good little runs. I mean, basically all Johnny Manziel. He kind of built Aggie land.
Not even Johnny Manziel. Mike Evans. Well, Johnny did cook.
Johnny Manziel, you gotta give props to Johnny football, man. I mean, he was barely even giving a fuck about football and still just like had the craziest year. I think that deserves like all the props right there. I mean, to be
he was taking a nosedive into some fucking protein powder.
To be partying like majority of the week, like not even like really like involved like that. Like he's more like trying to get money, trying to get with the girls, like, and he's still just out there just killing it, beating Bama, beating big schools, big games. I mean, shoot. I mean, he would have had the most money if NIL was out back then. He would have been crazy. Like
I don't know, Joe Burrow though.
Joe Burrow definitely, but imagine if Johnny Manziel was getting legit money back then. He would have been even crazier, I think. I think it was probably for his own good that he didn't have money back then, because dude, he would have been wilding out. He might have not even gone to the NFL. He would have just racked up the millions and just booked it. Like, I mean, this dude Johnny was crazy.
He would have started the Manziel cartel.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame. I'm taking Notre Dame in that game.
Yeah.
And then LSU USC is another ranked matchup. Obviously.
That's Sunday, right?
I think it's Saturday. It's Saturday. No, it's
no,
Sunday.
Yeah, it's Sunday because of our draft.
Yeah.
Because of our draft.
Yeah, Sunday night and LSU USC. Obviously, I'm going with the boys. I'm going with LSU there.
USC is nice though.
USC is nice, and like that backup quarterback when Caleb Williams didn't play in the bowl game. I mean, didn't he have the record for that game? For a touch, like he was insane that game. So I don't know if
we don't talk about that.
If he's playing like that, I mean,
Chillers against our bench. All our players into the draft too. Okay.
I mean, that guy was slicing up. So I think that if they play like that, I'm still not sold on LSU secondary right now. They were really bad last year and lost us a bunch of games.
I mean, they've always been a team that's just gonna outscore too, though.
Right.
But they don't have. I really don't believe in Nussmeier like that. Like their running backs are nice, but I don't believe that Nussmeier is him. And I haven't really seen any receivers that are like to the level of the LSU standard recently.
Yeah, I think Lacey is definitely really good. I think that he'll shine.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple other guys that have been making some plays in practice that I think will step up. But yeah, I just think that the secondary is definitely the weakest it's been in a while. Just defensively, last year they were just getting sliced left and right, couldn't stop anything. That's why they had to put up 50 every game, because they just had no chance at stopping anything.
All the good defensive players want to go to teams like fucking Georgia.
Yeah, so it's like, and there was a point where LSU had good DBs going through all the time, but they're just in like a dry spot right now. I don't know what happened to the recruiting portal or what's going on. Like we ain't got no DBs in New Orleans that can pull up to Baton Rouge. Like like what's going on? But yeah, so I'm definitely taking LSU in that. I'm taking Notre Dame.
Georgia over Clemson.
Georgia's gonna roll that.
I'm an ACC boy, but come on now.
Yeah,
Let's be serious.
Yeah, let's just be serious. Georgia's gonna roll that. Clemson hasn't impressed me in a long time.
Yeah.
I just feel like they haven't really figured out the quarterback situation ever since Trevor Lawrence left. They've kind of been just in turnover.
I mean, even when they had Trevor Lawrence, the thing that always carried them was their running back, wide receivers, and then their linebackers and secondary. They've always that's always been their core. Every player or every time they have a good draft, it's all those positions. It's always the skill positions. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was nice in college, but I mean, how bad can you be when you just hand it off to Etienne,
right,
and throw it to Higgins,
right?
And
they weren't even running the right plays.
Mm-hmm.
They were running read option with Trevor Lawrence, trying to get him out in open space.
Yeah, we were watching
he's
that
some
the
type
other
of
day.
threat. And it's just you're what are we really?
Remember that draw, and he faked off this way and handed it this way on a draw play?
Right.
What are you doing?
It was so confusing, the type of scheme they were running with Lawrence, who wants to sit back there and just throw. He's a pocket passer. Just let him just find a dot. They're trying to run Lamar Jackson plays over there. So I don't really know what Clemson's really doing over there. Maybe they shocked the world here, but I don't think that.
Oh, they had Watson too, but.
Oh yeah, they did have Watson. They were nice with Watson. I think that's I know Watson beat up on your team, but
no, he didn't beat up on us.
He
threw 3 picks against us.
But that Renfro pass to the corner, nobody was guarding it. But Louisville should be pretty good this year, though. I think
we got snubbed out of the top 25. We're literally number 26.
Did y'all get a quarterback?
We had redshirt freshman, but we got a transfer in too. I think the transfer is going to be the one starting. I forget what his name is, but I want us to start the freshman.
Yeah,
he's nice. He's from California. I think he's a redshirt freshman this year. Pierce. Yeah, but our running back's nice. We have a really cool wide receiver, our cornerback and defensive end from last year. They won the awards for corner and DN last year, so they're back for their senior year, and our whole squad is just solid, especially the secondary. We've always been a good run stopping team.
Yeah.
So now we have the secondary to fill it out. I don't know, and the ACC is looking kind of weak this year.
Yeah, I think anybody's gonna be an upgrade over Jake Bummer or whatever.
He was so bad.
I remember watching a couple of those games last year, and golly.
Our starting receiver got hurt though, so I think he's out. I don't think he's out for the full season. I think he's out for the first 2 or 3 weeks. But it's the first couple of weeks. We play Austin P first week. What are you talking about?
Again, just another piss poor
tomorrow.
Hey. Another piss poor week 1 matchup of just what are we doing? Yeah. I just feel college football. Yeah. I know it's probably hard, but I just feel like we have to in some way make these matchups a little bit.
It's because the incentive is to go undefeated.
Right.
If you have 3 losses, it's hard to get in the playoff. And
yeah.
Even now, with the extended one, it's still hard to get into the playoff. That's 12 teams. Or
I think it's 8.
8.
I think it's 8 teams.
Yeah.
And it's definitely it's going to be stacked. I think the most you might be able to squeak into the 8 with 2 losses max. Yeah. It kind of depends on. It
depends on how it goes out.
Depends on how if all the top teams are losing, then you might be able to sneak in something different. But it's going to be. I just think I know they're trying to get the smaller schools some exposure, so that's kind of why some
70-0 exposure.
Right. So it's what's the use? It's good for the school because they're playing Clemson, they're gonna get some, or they're playing whoever, they're gonna get some TV time. Mm-hmm. But is it really worth it? Yeah. I'd rather, if I went to a small school, I'd rather play the schools that are around our league, even if we don't get the big ESPN spotlight or whatever. It's I'd rather that than get the ESPN spotlight and we're just getting our shit beat from behind the whole game. It's 80 to nothing in the second quarter.
Yeah, only power teams need to play power teams, right. And only the
like
other conferences need to play the other conferences.
Right. And you can have the in-conference games, but the out-of-conference games, like, it needs to be Oregon, Alabama. It needs to be stuff like that. Like, that's what people want to see. That's really going to get it. Smaller schools, like, sorry. Like, I mean, you're just a smaller school. It's not bad, but, stay in there. And they're never... It's hard because the smaller schools are never going to really able to be competitive when it comes to the championship unless they just have a super crazy year. But if they were ready, if the smaller school is ready with how they're doing college football now, they would just move them to another division like they did with U of H and all these different schools. So it's like you're just not ready. You have to dominate in the pool that you're in before you get considered to be with the big dogs. Yeah. It's just how it always is.
Yeah, like Louisville was in the Big East forever, which Big East was a pretty solid. Like, it was a good conference, but it wasn't great. Right. And then we moved to the ACC because we were starting to cook in basketball, football, soccer, all the other stuff.
Like you have to get some motion before you just we want to play Alabama now. Like, okay, and they're gonna walk you down, and that did nothing for you.
That's why on CFB I always make my schedule like against top 25 teams and shit because I don't want to play South Alabama.
Right.
Like that's such a boring game. I'm literally gonna run shoe clock the whole fourth and third quarter because I'm already gonna be up like 56.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
It's like even if you take a L to the big team, it's like you rather it be like that because it's exciting than just to walk some whoever little school in the middle of nowhere. It's just that's not. Yeah,
it's damn near preseason in NFL.
Right, and it's just
let's throw Bajan in.
Right, it's there's just no point. I don't think it really helps anybody. It doesn't help Alabama or whoever the top school is because they expect them to beat y'all. They expect
I think the only thing
it's just like, what are we doing?
The only thing with those big teams is that they'll put in like the third string and the fourth string players when they're up because it's like they're not typically going to get play time unless it's like late in the season and people are getting hurt and stuff and they've been practicing good, moving up the ranks. But I mean, no point. I'd rather have the competition early so we can see what our team's really made of. Right. And then it's going to make you better throughout the season.
Right. Because if you start off with these little weak cupcake squads, by the time you do get to the real teams, it's like
like if you're Alabama and you play Georgia like week 3, it's like what?
Right. It's like, bro, we thought we was cooking. We thought we was it. It's like, no, you got some holes to fill. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for college football coming back. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for NFL, obviously. Brandon Ayuk got paid finally. That's over.
He should have been a Steeler. No.
That would have been live if he would have went to the Steelers. I honestly think
Mike Tomlin squared.
Yeah, it's so crazy how why do they look exactly alike?
I saw a dude at work today. He looked exactly like both of them. It was crazy. Yeah, but he also looked like T-Bone from iCarly. He had like the head wrap on and everything. I was cackling, bro.
I still think Ayuk did a little bit too much. Like, I know he wanted to get paid, and we've already talked about that. I believe that players should try to get as much money as they can in their prime. But I mean,
why are you the most talked about player in the offseason?
Right. It's like, and I just think that
CD literally didn't sign a contract.
Right. Like Ayuk is good, but he's not like, oh my God. Like, he's not in the top echelon of guys. He's a good route runner. He's good in his role in San Fran. He would definitely be good on other teams, and stuff like that. He's definitely a top 25 guy, so I get, wanting to be paid like that. But, I don't know. It just seemed like he was doing a little bit too much.
I feel like he's kind of like a Roddy White.
Yeah.
Like, Roddy White was really good, and he'd be good on other teams. But he definitely did profit from being on the Falcons with Matt Ryan
and just the scheme.
What was it, Freeman and Julio Jones and all that, and Gonzalez. Right. They were all First, what kind of squad is that? First of all,
was Gonzalez on that team?
It might have been at the end of Gonzalez, and then I think it was only a couple of years though. Yeah. I don't know.
Now
I'm thinking about it.
Because I think they were running some makeshift tight ends for a little while, but I mean they didn't really need them. And then Calvin Ridley came into town. Yeah. Remember when Calvin Ridley first got in the league? He was actually kind of insane. I don't know. He was a different beast. I think he benefited off of playing next to Julio. Julio's getting like double and triple covered, so obviously you're going to be wide open doing whatever you're doing over there. But he was still a beast.
But yeah, back to Ayuk though. Like, I still think he's good, but I also don't like. I still see Debo better than Ayuk.
Right.
To me,
yeah.
I'd rather get him the ball than I'd rather give Ayuk. You know?
Because it's just Debo's just more dynamic. You can do more with Debo Samuel than you can with Ayuk. Ayuk's probably a better pure receiver. He can actually run a crispier route, and his hands might be a little bit better and stuff like that. Like just the little things where Ayuk might, like as an actual receiver, Ayuk would get the hand. But Debo Samuel, I feel like people try to get on him because he runs the ball and he
throws the ball,
quick screens, and he does a lot of gadget stuff. But that's football.
Yeah,
like good. To be good at that sort of stuff makes you good, and it makes him like up there.
It's a staple of the offense. Like if you're having plays created for you to get the ball, obviously you're one of the best players.
Right, and then he's elite at it.
Yeah.
He's elite at being the gadget. Like he's taking these handoffs, these screens 70 yards to the crib. Like he's not just catching these things going like 10 yards, getting out of bounds. He's catching he's taking these things and gone. And you're looking at him like, he's not that fast, right? But he's burning. Yeah. And like he'll truck two dudes along the like this dude is crazy, yo.
Yeah, he is.
Like people hate on it, but why? Like that's football. And anybody that plays football would love to be able to be in a Debo role.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna get the ball in a bunch of different ways and do a whole bunch of different stuff. Because as Debo, like if you were Debo, that's fun.
Yeah.
Like what?
It's never getting stale.
Right. I'm getting a jet sweep, bet. Or they're lining me up at running back. Like that's stuff that we would do in like youth football.
Yeah. Backyard.
Yeah, like backyard, middle school, where it's just like, yeah, we're gonna get the receiver here, but like that stuff is what makes the game fun. Like what you just want them to line up in the slot every time and run a mesh, run a post, like we get some receivers are elite at just lining up and doing that, like the Devontae Adams, like the certain guys, but some guys are good at moving around and doing different stuff.
Yeah. Like
you can't hate on the dude for that, but.
Yeah.
Maybe Ayuk got a little bit overpaid. I think
it's whatever though.
But it's not. It wasn't nothing crazy. It's not like he got like a Lamb contract, so you can't put it on him. It was a good deal.
They're taking care of their guy.
Right, they're taking care of their guy. He's gonna stay in town, and it had to get resolved soon. I mean, the season's gonna start in a week, so it's like, what are we gonna do? They either had to trade him that day or give him the contract that day. Like there's no other way. So.
Especially with all those questions about the trade up in the air too.
Right, and teams are calling, and it's just a distraction too when you're trying to run the off season and get ready for the season. You're trying to make plays and scheme stuff, and it's like, are we gonna have Ayuk or not? Like, let's just get it over with now, so we can figure out who we're gonna run. Are we gonna run Ricky Pearsall? With Pearsall, hey, he might be a dog, bro.
Might be.
He might be a dog.
Nah, he's a product of Brock Purdy. Generational quarterback.
Yeah, Brock Purdy. Yeah, he's just benefiting off of his dots, you know. But I don't know. We'll see. But Niners are going to be good again. Obviously,
of course,
their
like defense is so cold.
Yeah, Bosa, Warner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they got all the guys over there, man. I mean, there's nothing stopping them. McCaffrey is still the best. Maybe ever. Is McCaffrey?
It's crazy they have Debo.
Is McCaffrey the best ever? Is he the best ever?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say he isn't, but it's hard to say he is at the same time. Because there's like AP.
Right.
Like, are you really putting McCaffrey over Adrian Peterson?
Right, and then you obviously you have like legends like Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, all these guys, but like
McCaffrey.
I feel like at the end of McCaffrey's career, especially if the Niners are able to pull it off and win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I mean, who's to say he's not in the top conversations of backs all time? Yeah. Plus, he's one of the best receiving backs as well, but sometimes it's
a straight running back either.
That's what I'm saying. Because sometimes with the running backs, it's like one or the other. It's like they're good. They're a good pass catching back, but they're not elite at really like running the ball or something. Or they're running the ball good, but they don't really got the hands like that to do the screens and stuff. But I mean, he does it all, and he does it all elite.
I remember the first time I watched McCaffrey. It was that bowl game right before
Stanford.
Yeah, last year before he went to the draft, and I was like, what is going on right now? Like, how is this guy cooking like this?
He's different, bro.
I had never seen anything like that.
He's different. So, yeah.
100 yards. Like, you can get receiving and rushing cooking.
It seems like he gets like 170 total yards a game on wake up.
And 2 tutties.
On wake, like, it's just like, but it's like just like that. Like, you look at his stats at the end of the game, 115 rushing yards, a touchdown, 60 in the air, another touch.
Yeah.
It's like...
And it's not like they're, like, force feeding him, because he doesn't get, like, outrageous... He's not getting 40, 50 touches a game.
It's not like Derrick Henry, where they're like...
Yeah.
Here's
35 handoffs.
Yeah. Here's 30 carries right up the middle. You're eventually going to get to 120 yards. Like, just by odds, you're probably going to get there but eventually. You know? It's like they use him in a good
they throw tosses.
Right, they throw some tosses. And they make it work. I mean, it's just a product of them having everybody else on the team. But I mean, McCaffrey, he's going down as a legend.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Definitely. At the very least, top 5. But I could see if he gets a Super
definitely
Bowl,
top 10.
Yeah.
If he gets a Super Bowl, if he gets a Super Bowl top 5, but he's definitely already top 10.
I'd say if he gets 2 Super Bowls and an MVP, I'd say there's a strong case for number 1.
It's so hard for running backs to get MVP.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, he is a receiving running back,
right.
so it's a lot
easier. I feel like
easier.
he has to get it eventually. His name is always in the bucket, but they
love quarterbacks.
They love quarterbacks, and it's just I don't know. It's hard to get it as a running back or a receiver or anything. Like if you're not the Q, forget it. They damn near probably give it to Brock Purdy before they give it to Christian McCaffrey or one of them.
Yeah.
It's like, well, damn, he's the one that's juking everybody out and trucking and catching and Jesus. It's a unfair league. But baseball's heating up. Baseball's getting towards the playoffs, getting towards the back end.
Another White Sox chip coming.
Yeah, loser chip. Loser bowl.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's just talk about the White Sox, and I have love for the White Sox. I got people in Chicago and stuff like that. I've been to the White Sox stadium. I loved it, and it's just what the hell is going on? I mean, what is going on? Like, they might be the worst team I've ever seen. There's nothing about them that's good.
Yeah.
Nothing about the White Sox.
Everything is like mediocre or terrible.
Like, the pitching is bad.
Oh, the pitching is so bad.
The pitching's bad.
Bro, we're up 4-0 and then we lose 8-4. Like, what are you doing?
The pitching's bad, and you can't even evaluate the defense because the pitching is so bad. Y'all are just giving up home runs. How do you can't defend a bomb? So it's like, can't keep a lead. Offensively is garbage. Offensively is garbage. Like, there's no good hitters. And it's not like Tim Anderson would have helped anyway. After he got knocked out by old dude, he ain't been the same since. I don't know. And that right hook took Anderson out of the league. Damn near. Like, geez, what? I mean, he wouldn't have had help. He's been bad. I don't know what the White Sox got going on, man. And it's gonna take them a while to get back. I don't know when they might be back, because it's not like they're good at farming. They never get good prospects. It's like, what are we doing over there? Are we not doing what everybody else is doing? Y'all can't find. I mean, I'm not saying you gotta have a whole roster stacked full of dudes, but you ain't got 1 or 2 dudes that you got in the minor leagues that can come in and swing the bat. Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what is going on with those guys, man. I mean, generationally.
Yeah, we're on a generational run. Worst season. Like, we probably have the worst decade or 2 in a row of all time. It's got to be.
Right.
Maybe in all of sports, low key.
Nah, because the Cleveland Browns. The
Yeah,
Cleveland Browns were poverty.
Yeah.
I mean, for years, like Cleveland Browns. So they probably got y'all beat. But I mean, the White Sox, they're coming for the trophy, I guess, because I mean, Jesus, man, and it's just like you hate to see it, you know. I feel like they have that like little brother syndrome when it comes to like sports. You know how they say teams or cities that have two teams and you're like the second team.
Yeah.
You just
like the Clippers.
Right, the Clippers. You know, Angels. The White Sox, like when they have those two teams, there's the one team that's the big dog that has the stuff, has the players, has the money, has the history. And then there's the other team that it's like, why are you even here, man? Like, and you have some fans.
At least we have the swag, all right. Best pinstripes.
Exactly, but they're wasting it. It's like they got the cold uniforms, the black and white.
I've seen more White Sox hats than any other sports team.
Right,
hats. It's like weird, generationally bad.
The drip is fire. The hats are fire. The clothes are fire. The unis. Yeah. They have a good city connect with the South Side. Yeah. Like that. It's all hard. Except for the actual performance on the field is terrible. Like, I don't know. They might get relegated to AAA at this point. Like, we could honestly do it. You're just giving free wins to all the other teams. So it's just like, send them down until they figure it out.
Like, at least we beat the Yankees and we beat the Astros.
Speaking of the Astros are, I mean, can we, they look like the favorites.
Yeah.
They started off so bad. I mean, I remember in the beginning of the season just looking at the Astros and being like, I don't know if this team got it this year. The dynasty might be over. You know, the dynasty might be over. It was a good run. We enjoyed it. You know, as fast as it comes, it goes. You know, and it's just what it is. It's sports.
Yeah.
But they just turn it around, man. They just somehow always figure it out. They have too many star players, man. It's just. The roster is loaded top to bottom. I mean, Yordan Alvarez had 3 home runs the other game. 3 home runs in one game. And that's like his 4th time doing it. Like, he does this all the time. Altuve's always clutch. And it just seems like they're one of those teams as the season goes on, as they go, like, they just get better and better and better. And then next thing you know, it's September, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, the Astros are the top team.
Play the Dodgers.
Right. The Astros are the top team again. And yeah, I mean they're impressive, bro. They're on the streak. They got the pitchers. Frommer is dirty. They got some Spencer Andretti or whatever. He's a rookie.
Spinsky.
And every time he steps on the mound, he's like lighting it up. You know? Like every time he goes up there, he's throwing crazy strikeouts. He's nasty. And Verlander is working his way back. I don't really see how you stop this team when it gets to the playoffs.
The good hitter, what's his
Tucker,
yeah.
Tucker's still out. But I mean, we need him for the playoffs. So
I mean, I'm sure he'll be back. He still has another 20, 25 games.
Right. So I'm assuming that he'll be back for the playoffs. They'll probably try to work him in right before, a couple weeks before they'll get Tucker back. But I think the Astros definitely need Tucker if we're to really solidify us going super deep. You need all the hitters you can get. Sometimes they look a little sleepy. You know, they drop a few games here and there where you're kind of like, does this team really give a fuck about baseball?
Yeah.
But then they remind you why they've been the best for, I don't know, since 2016, 2017.
Teams play all hard too.
Right. And
because of the cheating.
Yeah.
Cheater.
Man, we still got the trophy. You know, they didn't take it from us. So, hey, you know, sometimes you gotta work a little magic. You know, but I definitely think they're a top team in baseball. The Yankees don't scare me. The Yankees, they do this every year. They're always good in the regular season, and then when we come to the playoffs, when they have to play the Astros, what happens? Judge can't hit. Stanton can't hit.
Yep.
And none of them can hit once they play in the playoff games, especially when they go against the Astros. When they go against the Astros, they know who owns them. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta accept it. I know they're salty about it, and they're like, "Oh, cheater." It doesn't matter, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. The Astros own y'all. Accept it, and all the Yankees fans know that Aaron Judge doesn't play as well in the playoffs. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
And I'm not worried about them. I think it's looking like it could be another Astros-Dodgers year, which would be a crazy World Series matchup.
Orioles have been nice too, though.
Orioles have been nice.
They are kind of sliding a little bit.
They're sliding a little bit. The Astros beat them a couple times and stuff, but it was like I think they split the series. But yeah, the Orioles are good. There's a lot of teams in the Dodgers division that are good. Like the Padres are still there.
Yeah, I was about to say Padres are
the
good.
Diamondbacks are still pretty good. But yeah, I think the Astros are definitely the favorites in the AL, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about the Yankees or really any other team.
The Red Sox?
No. They're always decent though.
Yeah.
Somehow. They're always decent. You can't really count them out, but they're not gonna get it. Yeah, but baseball, there's a bunch of good baseball. I think the Astros, I would pick them I would put a bet in for them to be in the World Series. They just look strong.
Yeah.
They look strong and they look determined.
They're always strong in the playoffs too.
They're always strong in the playoffs and they just look determined.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can just tell when they just have something like in them. Like, I think last year you could kind of tell towards the back end they were worn out. We had some injuries.
Yeah.
They didn't look like it. They still gave it their best go, but they just didn't really look all the way there last year. The pitching was But this year, they've got some pitching. We have random dudes like Dubon and Singleton that are coming in and just hitting rockets, and they're making plays on defense. The infield is always going to be good with Altuve, Penna, Bregman. I mean, the infield's solid. I don't see how you beat the Astros, especially when it comes to late October. The Astros got it. Astros are king and will be king until they lose all their players and the dynasty ends.
They sell out.
What else do we have to talk about?
I got the soccer season starting right now too, and the transfer window just ended.
Hasn't Mbappe been like
Yeah, so he's had like 3 games now. I think it's been 3 games over Madrid now, and they're supposed to be like some crazy offense, and they won 1 game, tied 2, and they haven't played. They played Barcelona, but it was like, it's Barcelona or Madrid, El Clasico. Like, they always play hard in that, but he didn't do shit. And then
what was that game that we watched? What game was that?
That was the first game of La Liga. I forget who it was against though. But that one was a tie too, right? 1-1. The last game was 1-1 too, and like, he looked good. He was taking good shots and he was getting his plays, but like, it just doesn't seem like they have that connection yet. Like, everybody's kind of a little off on their passing. Their defense looks atrocious, like bad. Like the Las Palmas is who they're playing. It was just like, they're a decent team, but they're like, if we're talking overalls, they're probably like a 78, 80 overall team. Real Madrid's supposed to be like a 90 overall team.
Right. And
they're just slicing them through the middle. Like, they'll come around the outside and just pass it straight into the middle, and they have no idea where the ball's at. They can't clear it out. Like, they're just at the whim of the players shooting. Like, if they actually had laser shooters, they would have been winning like 3-1 or 3-0.
Yeah, it seemed like
they got their goal off a penalty too.
Yeah, it seemed like in that game that we watched, it definitely seemed like they're still trying to make it gel.
Yeah.
He had some good shots. He had some good shots.
He's a great player.
Right, he's a great player, and he's gonna put it on eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely seemed like they were they're still trying to figure out like exactly how they're gonna really make the whole thing work.
Yeah. And it's hard to fit him into their offense too, because they have good wingers, and they needed a good striker. And like he can play striker, but he's more of like a center forward where he's gonna back off a little bit, or he's gonna play on the wing. And they have both their wings already like established, and they've been in the Stars. Like they literally were the best team last year.
Right.
But
like
they also have their best player out right now too, so that's a big factor. And he's like the facilitator.
Yeah, it seems like he needs space.
Yeah.
Like the first game that we watched, it seemed like everything when he got the ball, it was just very congested. The team that they were playing was playing really good defense that day, though, so they were really doing good, close to the goal, and really
they just
shutting
the
stuff
box,
down. Yeah, and just crowding the box. But it just seems like he would be a little bit better if he just had a little bit more space, like you said, maybe playing a little bit more back.
He was doing that last game, and he was getting some like a lot better looks. Like he was taking some shots outside the box, like 30 yards, and they looked a lot better. Like he had this one that was a freaking rocket, and he just barely tapped it out. Their goalkeeper was on point. But I can tell too that the defenses of the other teams, in soccer especially, they like to break you in. If you're like a big name player coming over, like they're gonna try and torture you, put you through hell. I mean, like. Even for instance, Vinicius Jr., he was one of their top goal scorers last year, and to this day they're still like they're chanting like racist stuff at him all the time, and like just trying to get into his head and be dicks to him. And he's like been established on the team for a year or two now, maybe I think this is his third year, but like they're still treating him like he's a new kid on the block, and he led last year, so. But yeah, it's gonna be like that with Mbappe too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not gonna let him just come over here and just run shit. You know, he's gonna have to earn it, and I think that him playing back, him getting a little bit more space, and I think that just over time, you know, things take time, especially when you get a star player. Yeah. It's just like in any sport, you gotta kind of figure out their little role on the team and how they really want to play with the other players now. I think he'll get it going though, but
once Bellingham comes back too, because he's such a good facilitator. Some people say he's a fraud superstar, but he's low key one of the best in the world, and he's like he just has that thing with the player where you know they're gonna make the right read. They're gonna put it where you want them to put it and make the right touch.
Sixth sense kind of.
Yeah, like he knows he can sense where the field's at all times and where everybody's at, and. Once he comes back, they're going to look like a completely different team, and people are going to be like, see, this is why you should have never thought about Real Madrid, blah, 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 blah. But they're still cooking my parlays. They need to start winning some fucking games.
Yeah.
But today was trade deadline, too, or the transfer deadline. So, like, usually at the deadline, a bunch of players get bought in, and Manchester United made the biggest moves. We got Ugarte for... like 68 mil, he plays like center defensive mid, where we kind of been slacking recently, and he might be kind of nasty for us.
He's gonna be the piece.
I don't know. We also got this dude for $1 million that's 18 from Mali, and I was watching some clips of him today, and he looks pretty nasty too. I think his name's like Kone or something like that. Bro,
being 18 and playing soccer has to be top 3 livest things that you can do.
And it's like for the top 3 club in the country or in the world, it's like
it's one of the livest things you can do, and I think that's one of the livest things about soccer is just like how the young guys are just in there, you
literally just start
you're just watching it, and it's like that guy's 17, you know, and he's cooking in the big Euro. You're just like, bro, you. Like, if I was 18 and, like, a top soccer player, like, you don't even have to be but, like, you're just 18 and you're there, you got the jerk, like, you're on the field, that's probably so live, especially when you're back in your country and stuff like that. You're in Spain and you're, like, I couldn't even imagine how dope that is.
You remember that dude, Edric, on Brazil, the young dude?
Yeah.
He plays for Real Madrid, too, and he came in, I think it was the game that we watched, he came in and scored a goal. Yeah. And, like... He's like 17, 18 years old. He came in and tied the game up. Like, that's so crazy.
That has to be one of the livest things. Like, you leave that game feeling like you're king.
Yeah, and it's like one of the first games he ever came in and he comes in and scores. Like, bro, what kind of timing are you on?
You're a king, bro. You probably you just just walk around Spain just getting whatever you want. They're giving you just anything. You're just, you got like just the craziest lifestyle for 18 years.
Last game he came in too in like the 70th minute or something, and he did the same thing where he like as soon as he came on the pitch, they sent a long ball up and he just sped past everybody and he took a crazy shot and almost it like barely whipped the edge. He was cooking.
Yeah,
that kid's nasty.
I love that about soccer. Just seeing the young guys and just being like that's pretty much impossible in almost anything else to be
18 playing for
18, 17
for the Chiefs wide receiver. What?
So,
imagine.
You know what I'm saying though? Like that's so crazy being that young, being still a teenager and being at the pro on the top level. I don't even know if I'd be able to handle that type of action.
That kind of pressure.
Right.
A press conference after your first play of a game.
Right.
What?
You're 18.
You have millions of people watching you after you just busted out the worst game you've ever played.
You're not even like mature yet. They're asking you like, "Oh, what do you think?" You're like, "Dude, I honestly don't care. I'm trying to get on COD later." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I gotta go to biology.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got class in the morning. I don't even know, dude. Like, I'm just trying to go hop on the game with the boys. Like, like they're not even thinking about what's going on yet. They're just happy to be along for the ride, which they should be. That's just one of the most insane things.
Last year, man, you had a 18-year-old Garnacho. He's our starter now. He's crazy. But the moment that like solidified him on the team, he came in and did a freaking bicycle kick, a crazy one, like way over his head like this, and scored it in the top corner. And it's like, you're 18, you can do that?
Right.
You can
bicycle
in a crazy game, like the game winner type of deal.
Right.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah,
what is going on?
That's on top of the world.
Yeah.
That's on top of the world.
Bro, it was on every headline, every sports page. Like, they're all talking, is this the most beautiful goal we've ever seen? And meanwhile, he's an 18-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely. I couldn't even. Top three, maybe even top two, just livest things you could be doing as an 18-year-old.
And making millions.
Right. You're making millions, you're on the best soccer teams, like you're playing for your country. Yeah. You're in the cameras, you're in the scene,
that's what I liked about old school NBA too, is that you Kobe coming in off high school.
Like LeBron and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like they should bring that back, but I don't know.
It's hard, but you see those clips of the kids that are 10, 12 years old, and they're cooking.
Yeah, and there's some players that could go straight to the league.
Yeah.
It's you don't really have to go to like LaMelo and them. They just kind of went overseas and stuff. But yeah, I think it should still be a thing. I don't think everybody should do it. You know, obviously you got to be the GOAT.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think being 18 and being a pro sports player is. I don't know. That's probably every kid's dream,
Yeah.
At least every guy. I saw this thing where it was every guy's dream is or every guy's plan A is to be some pro sports player, and then plan B is just whatever. It's I'm a grind to be in some type of league, and then when you get to the realization, oh, I'm not getting it. Oh, okay, I'm okay with whatever after that. Just whatever gets me paid, and then I get a good life. Okay, then we'll just go with that plan B.
We're on signing the application.
Every A is NFL. Every A is NBA. For a guy, that is A. A is
that's the livest
athlete.
thing you could do.
Right. A is athlete.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Make millions, retire in your 30s, 40s, and then never have to do anything ever again.
You're live, you're in the camera. It's the whole thing around it. Athlete is one for every male until you just I don't know, some happens, you get hurt, or you just figure out that you're not that guy, and you just go on to something else.
It's the thing, every rapper wants to be an athlete.
Right. Every athlete wants to be a rapper, though.
Which is crazy.
It's I think it's probably...
They live the lifestyle and they don't have to fucking bang their head against another helmet.
It's
but
they live the lifestyle without having the abide by like certain rules by like the NFL and stuff like that. Like rapper can just go out and like pop a perk and just be good.
Walk hard.
Right. NFL you gotta be like, I don't know, Roger Goodell might see, like I can't just be
John Moran don't care.
Yeah, Zion,
Well, all he has is freaking Twinkies and shit.
Right.
DoorDash.
Yeah, I know. Somebody delete that from his phone, please. Oh my God. Come on, Z. Lock in. Keep forgetting what else we talking about here. Oh yeah, the Patriots, bro.
Oh yeah,
the Patriots. So they came out and said that Jacoby Brissett is gonna be the starter over Drake May.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, there's nothing about that helps anything.
There's nothing about watching Drake May that's like, maybe we should make him wait.
Right.
Nothing about watching him.
He killed it. He killed it in the preseason. He looked really good. Like, all the passes, he's making big dots. Why are we starting Jacoby Brissett, bro? Nobody wants it. The fans don't want it. NFL doesn't want it. And it's not like, as the Patriots, you're really thinking, oh, okay, we're going to start Jacoby Brissett because he's going to get us to the play. Like, you're not going to the playoffs. So let's just keep just keep it like that. Patriots aren't going. Okay? The Bills are still Miami, like, they're going to run it. Your team isn't all the way there yet to make a run. Like, you don't have any real weapons and stuff. So you might as well just start Drake May. Yeah. If anything, he actually probably does give you the best chance to win. Yeah. It's not Brissett.
No. Brissett is good though.
He's good, and he's had some good little runs. Like when he was on the Colts, he was decent, and he's had some shine in some places. And I'm not saying he's a bad Q, but I mean, I just think that you spent when they drafted 2 or 3. You drafted Drake May at 3, and he had a good preseason, good off season. It's not like he looked like garbage. No. And then that's when you can be okay. Well, we're gonna go with Brissett. He needs a little bit more time. He don't need no time. Mm-hmm. He ready to go. He ready to go now. And I think the Patriots fans and all
they need it.
They would be way more hyped going in if they started Drake May. You got some pieces here. It's not complete dust.
Ramondre is really good.
You got Ramondre.
He's really good.
I mean, they have dogs on defense. Mm-hmm. Dogs. Patriots got dogs on defense. Mm-hmm. They got Beardmore at D tackle. Christian Gonzalez is going to be back. Mm-hmm. They got, they traded Judon, but the defense is always solid. They were solid last year on defense.
Who's their safety? They have a really good safety. Huh?
Isn't it Mills or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, they have, and then I think they have another really good defense, Jabril Peppers. They have Peppers. And it's just like, they have dogs on defense. A lot of their signings in the offseason was just re-signing a lot of their defensive players. So it's like, your defense is going to probably keep you into some of these games. You're not going to be, I don't know what their schedule looks like, but they're not going to be playing some first place schedule. They're going to have some winnable games in there. Yeah. And it's like, you might as well just see what the young, get them some time, get them some, reps in real action. There's no point of him sitting on the bench.
Honestly, what I think it might be is that they're trying to do like a Texans thing where like they had Lovie Smith and they told him that he's got to just tank the season and we're going to let you go at the end of the season. Right. And then we're going to draft and start over. And that might be what they're doing, benching May for Brissett so they could lose a bunch of games, then put May in towards the back half so he doesn't have to worry about getting too many reps and getting hurt and making too many mistakes. Like getting a good feel for it and then still finishing very mid, very low so they can get a high draft pick and then filling out the rest of the squad and coming back stronger year 2.
Right. Maybe try to, get another top receiver.
Yeah. Get a Travis Hunter.
Right. Or get, do something like that. And it could be their strategy. Mm-hmm. But I just think
they can still do that regardless, though, because
right.
you can get a good receiver first round regardless.
Yeah, like there's so many good receivers that come out. You like
or
what?
free agent.
Right, free agent. I mean, what the Bears got Odunze at like 15.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to be at number 1 to get a top
and we traded
receiver.
down for it too.
You know, yeah, and then for receiver, you can just trade up a couple spots, and it's not going to cost you that much. You know, to go up.
They've got to have pretty good draft capital too, because I mean, it's not like they've been trading away picks.
Right. It's like if you go from, 17 to 13, like, or 17 to 15, like, I mean, what? It's going to cost you a little bit.
Throw a 7th in.
Right. Like, I mean, you can still get it done. I mean, like, and I just feel like in a way, it seems that Mayo's doing this old school way where it's like, oh, we're just not going to play the young guy. He needs to sit, trying to put the hammer down. But quarterbacks nowadays, for the most part, don't really need to sit like they did back in the day. I know that was a back in the day. You get a rookie quarterback, he sits for 3 years, and then he starts, But that's not a thing anymore. Most of these quarterbacks now, they go through way more. They're in these quarterback camps and they're training and doing all this crazy stuff.
Tape all night.
Doing tape. They go way harder than what they was doing back in the day. These quarterbacks are ready to go for the most part, unless you're getting some late round prospect and it's like whatever. But the quarterbacks that are in the top picks that are like, this dude is going to go number 1, number 2, those guys don't need to sit.
I mean, isn't Bo Nix starting?
Right. It's like Bo Nix is starting. And that dude played in college for like 40 years. Like, you know what I mean? It's like these guys, and Bo Nix looked good. Yeah. It's like, and what would the Broncos be if Bo Nix had the preseason that he had, and then they were like, no, we're gonna go with Jared Stidham. It just doesn't make any sense, Like,
no, they're going with old boy from the Jets.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson.
Right. Like, what if they said that we're gonna go with Zach Wilson? Actually, like, for what? I just don't think it really helps anybody. And you might as well give Drake May a year to play. Who cares? Bryce Young had a trash year. He's still starting. Like, you're not gonna waste a 3rd round pick or a number 3 pick, and he has a iffy year, first year on a team that has no weapons, and be like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get rid of him. Like, you're gonna
let it ride for 3 years.
You gotta pick that high. You have at least 3 years to prove that you're somebody they can move forward with. Mm-hmm. And I think you're wasting a year because you're not evaluating him. You're not seeing what the team. You're trying to see what the new team is gonna look like. What are we gonna do? How is this gonna look? Let's get the young guys in. Who are we going to play? Let's see how we're going to start looking 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line. You ain't going to see what it's going to look like 2 years, 3 years down the line. Jacoby Brissett going to be retired. By then, he's been playing forever. Yeah. It's like, I don't really get it. I thought they were bringing him in for a little veteran presence, but...
And May has a freaking laser, bro. Like, just put him in and let him throw some dots.
Right, put him in and let him cook. Let him hand it off to Ramondre. He can double it out to Ramondre. They're still, and some of their little rookie receivers, like Polk or whatever, I don't know who they are, but
if they can get downfield, he can throw it to them.
Right, and the receivers were getting open. May was making plays, man. I just don't like it at all, to be honest. I just think it just takes a step back and it takes the air out of the stadium a little bit. It's like
old head activity.
Right. It's just, how are we supposed to get hype as Pats fans to just watch Brissett? Like, they had Brissett back in 2012 or something behind Brady. It's like, we're still going with this guy for real? Like, bro, I want to see the young guys play, man. I want to see, let's see what Drake got. Mm-hmm. Can't do that bad. Based on what I saw.
It's because the Drake Kendrick stuff. They have a thing against Drake right now.
Who? Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I think Mayo was just being a little bit of an old head and not let him start. But I think he's going to start by week 5. Week 5.
If that long.
Week 5, Drake Mason. And then I thought Brissett was hurt. Remember when I showed you?
Yeah.
Brissett got like drove into the ground and had to leave the game with a shoulder injury, but now he's the starting Q.
Mm-hmm.
So what? We're gonna start an injured old Brissett over the young guy that's ready to go. There's nothing about this that makes sense to me. There's nothing about this that makes sense. I just don't. Patriots gotta figure it out because
they're teasing us. They're just joking.
Right,
He's coming in the second quarter.
Just play Drake May. Like it's really just not that hard.
Have you been watching Hard Knocks? The Bears.
No, I haven't been watching Hard Knocks.
I think that was the last episode that just came out, but they had our rookie running back that we just drafted. It's in got accepted to med school or whatever, and he was cooking. He runs a 4.3, and he's fucking nasty.
Really?
But he tore his ACL in the last preseason game.
Damn.
He got a helmet to the knee and it tore his ACL. But they were gonna either go with him or Velus Jones, keep one, cut the other.
Right.
And since he tore his ACL, they're keeping Velus Jones and they're putting him on IR.
Right.
So they get to keep him.
Right.
So honestly, I'm kinda not to be like that, but I'm kinda happy it happened because he's nice.
Yeah.
And hopefully he comes back stronger, determined,
right.
ready to go. And Velus is nice. He's really good. And we've been running him at running back. Well, he's probably not going to get a bunch of snaps at running back, but he'll get a lot of snaps on those intermittent plays like Debo Samuel and stuff, like the reverses and weird packages and stuff like that. But yeah, the Wheeler dude, he's nice. Ian Wheeler.
Yeah.
4.3 is crazy.
That sucks there towards ACL, but yeah, at least he gets to stay with the team. Him being on IR, they'll take care of him probably. He'll get the care and stuff like that he needs, and he'll be back. And he'll be next year. Next year will probably be good. Even though the ACL is weird, because usually for running backs that first year back, they're kind of a half step slower.
Yeah.
And then it's that year after, the second year removed from the ACL was when they really
start
are
getting it
back.
back in
They
gear.
have a full off season. They're actually healthy. So I don't know. Hopefully, it doesn't come back to bite him.
It's good that it was towards the beginning of the season now, so that he'll have the entire whole year.
Right. Hopefully, he gets his surgery.
He's supposed to get it this week, I'm pretty sure.
Right. So he gets his surgery, and then he'll be running and stuff like that by February.
Yeah.
And he'll be ready to go. So I don't know.
But the Hard Knocks has been pretty good. Our quarterback room, it looks like they're probably going to keep Reed, another rookie that we drafted, instead of Rippin, even though Rippin was kind of cooking that one game. But Reed was cooking last game too.
Rippin?
Yeah.
As a Q?
Yeah.
That's tough, bro.
But if we keep Reed instead of Rippin, then we're going to have Caleb, who's a rookie, Bajent, who's an undrafted second year, and then Reed, who's a rookie. So our quarterback room would be all a combined 2 or 1 year of experience in the NFL.
Bro, you know who I feel bad for when it comes to the NFL? Devontae Adams.
Oh, yeah. But, he has Gardner Minshew now, right?
Yeah, but...
Gardner Minshew, he throws some dots. Hey,
I can't even lie, because Gardner Minshew was a play away from taking my team out.
Yeah.
We wasn't going to the playoffs. They hit that fourth down play, which they should have just ran it with Jonathan Taylor. But
yeah, what do you know?
I don't really know what this little Mickey, little throw to the flat was, but
that was awful.
Hey, I appreciate it. But yeah, Gardner Minshew, you can go in there and do some stuff now.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely better than whatever was going on last year in Las Vegas. Jimmy Garoppolo, Aiden O'Connell.
O'Connell's not bad though either.
There's a bunch of Aiden O'Connell truthers, but I don't really,
at the end of the season, I was watching him and he looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's decent. He got he's a big dude. He can stand back there.
He was just making the right throws. He's not making anything crazy.
Right. He's not a real okay, this dude's a quarterback for real. He can go in there if it's set up right, he can go in there.
Yeah, he's a good backup
and cook. He's not gonna make too many mistakes. But yeah.
But Minshew might be nice. And their running back room is pretty good even without Josh Jacobs. They're not gonna run the same way because Josh Jacobs is.
But Zamir White, hey, he was low-key cooking at the end of the year.
Yeah. Same kind of thing as Jerome Ford. They're both kind of the same running back to me, where they just come in and cook.
They come in and put that
on those outside zone runs. They're gone.
And they believe in Zamir. They've been saying good stuff about him in camp. They're saying Zamir is like...
That's one of my big sleepers on fantasy this year.
Right.
I like him a lot.
He could be like the White of last year, where Rashad White, that is. They both have White, but
Z White.
Yeah, he could be like that, where you could get him, six round, something like that, because people don't really. He's obviously not a household name. Not everybody knows Zamir White. No one really cares about the Raiders, and you could just snipe him, and he ends up being like a true RB1. Gets like, he was getting crazy carries, bro. He was getting like 20 carries, a buck. Zamir is definitely one of them dogs to look out for.
And it's not, Gardner Minshew's nice, but it's not like he's an elite quarterback that's going to be throwing it all day long. So he's obviously going to get a lot of touches. And he likes to check it down too. Yeah. Who was Colts backup running back last year?
They had Zach Moss.
Zach Moss, yeah. So, which he's another one of my sleepers too this year, because he's on I think he went to the Bengals. I think he's the starter on the Bengals now. Yeah. But Zach Moss and him kind of play the same way too. Mm-hmm. And Gardner Minshew let Zach Moss cook. Yeah. Like, he was getting them good in the passing game.
Zach Moss was on a tear in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. I picked him up too. I was
like, yo, this dude, he was for real.
Yeah.
Man. He was getting down there, man. They were giving him basically the Jonathan Taylor role. They're like, look, we're gonna give you a bunch of touches.
They were still getting touches when Jonathan Taylor was in too.
Right.
Which is nice.
And yeah, Zach, he had a good year. He could cook on the Bengals. Yeah. He could cook on the Bengals.
Bengals like to run the ball too. Like they're a sneaky team. They're air raid, but they like to run the ball. Yeah. Joe Mixon, he always ate for them.
Right. And Zach Moss is pretty good in the receiving game, so he can get out there and get busy. I think, I like Zach Moss this year. I'm glad he got out of Buffalo or wherever he was. It was Buffalo where he got drafted, and they just weren't using him at all or correctly. But
they used James Cook right, though.
Do you think Buffalo's going to be good this year?
I think on my I did that before the season parlay, like for wins over under. I think I did under 9.5 for the Bills.
I can see that. But I feel like everybody with the Bills is always like, oh, well, they got Josh Allen, so it's like an automatic 11 win.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, but who?
I see 8 or 9. Like,
they lost a lot of players, bro. Yeah. They lost a lot of players. They lost Diggs.
And it's not like they were convincing last year.
Right. Like,
they haven't been convincing.
Right.
Josh Allen's the only one that is good, and James Cook too. Yeah. But Josh Allen still, to me, he's never been an elite quarterback. He's good.
Right.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's like a lesser version of Andrew Luck.
He makes a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
And
he only throws bullet passes. Like, can you learn how to loft it? Can you learn how to throw a little bit of a lob?
Right.
Please?
And he carries with the rushing upside. Obviously he can run the ball, and he trucks people, and all that stuff. And he's a freak athlete. He's very athletic.
Yeah. And
stuff. But he makes a lot of mistakes, man. He throws bad picks. He has bad fumbles a lot of the time too. I remember one of the first times I really remember Josh Allen was the Texans versus Bills. It was like the 2019 playoff game, wild card game, and the Bills were up like 24-0 or 21-0 or something like that, and the Texans came back and beat them. And it was just like, it's funny how that's just been the thing about Josh Allen. It's like these big games, bro.
He doesn't know what to do.
He doesn't know what to do, and it just seems like he's not a closer. He's not a closer. You need Josh Allen to close it out. He's not doing it.
Glorified Trubisky.
And then what's funny is people forget about that Texans playoff game. That Texans playoff game, he literally shut down in the second half and wasn't doing anything. Like, he literally got completely shut down. He looked lost. And then the Chiefs the first time, and then they changed the rules because they were if overtime both people could play, then we would have been able to win the game. And then they changed it, and then they lost again. Yeah. Bro, when are you ever gonna do it? What, you want to change the rules again? You need another rule change so you can be able to close the team out in a playoff game?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, bro.
Chiefs are just different in the playoffs, though.
Chiefs are different in the playoffs. I'm not taking anything away from the Chiefs. It is a tough matchup. But, like, if you're supposed to be...
And their defense is crazy, too.
When you ask anybody, name your top 5 quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. 1 and 2. How is, like, 1 and 2? Like,
Lamar all day over
right,
Josh.
Lamar definitely all day.
I'd see, like, I kind of see Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts in the same light. Like, I think Jalen Hurts may be a little bit better overall, but I don't know. I kind of see him in the same way where they're good quarterbacks, but in different ways. Jalen Hurts is more of like a game manager type of quarterback. He's good at throwing some passes that Josh Allen can't make. But Josh Allen can make a lot of runs that Jalen Hurts can't. But they're both kind of the same tier of quarterback. Like, they're a good B+ to me.
Right. Like, Jalen Hurts is a good runner, but he's not gonna be.
He's not running a 50-yard touchdown.
And he's not hurdling and doing like dumb stuff like that.
Or running through somebody. He's getting tush pushed.
Right. So, but I think Hurts has a little bit more touch when it comes to actually throwing the football. He throws a good football.
Yeah,
like,
he finds A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith in spots they shouldn't be open.
Right.
And he just finds it sometimes.
He can throw a dot, and like I said, he is one of those quarterbacks that understands, okay, now I need a bullet. Now I need to put air and get it over the linebacker. Now I need to, so he definitely has better touch, where Allen, no touch, just straight throwing it as hard as he can to anybody, and then, just the mistakes, man. The mistakes are really bad, like, and in bad spots, fumbling and all that stuff. And to be honest, Josh Allen wasn't that good before Diggs got there. Before Diggs got there, Josh Allen was good.
He was in like a Daniel Jones kind of situation before that.
Because I was like, I didn't think nothing of Josh Allen. And then he had the rise once he got Diggs. But, I mean, so that's why I'm looking at them this year. I'm like, who's he throwing to?
Yeah.
Khalil, Shakir.
Who's the rookie that he just got?
Coleman.
He's good.
But he didn't really look that good in the offseason, though.
I don't know, but I think he'll be good in the regular season. I think he just needs to find that connection. Because it's hard with coming in with a quarterback that's already been around, too. Like, you kind of have to, like, they have to get to know each other better.
And then he didn't really play with Josh Allen that much in the preseason games and stuff. You're working with the backup or whatever, and it's just like, whatever. But I think Coleman needs like more space.
Yeah, I think he'll end up being the one though. I think he'll end up filling like a DK Metcalf kind of role for them.
Yeah, I just think that he needs to because he's a bigger receiver. He needs to get better at like getting off press and really being a menace. with the contested catching and
using
stuff like that.
More.
And because he was getting boxed up and not really able to move off of press that good. I mean, these receivers were putting their hands on him, and he seemed like he was kind of not knowing what to do. So he's gonna have to learn how to really be able to use his body, strong hands, and
find that opening.
And I think he'll work good at like intermediate routes, like intermediate post, intermediate ends, where he can really kind of get some space, make a catch. I think he'll be good at run after the catch.
I think he'll be an alright player this year, but I really think he'll start to blossom in like year 2, year 3. Like start to actually like fully come into it. Because I do think he has the potential to be like a DK Metcalf. Because he has the build and physical ability, and he has good hands. But he just needs to get a couple little intangible things just to make everything kind of fit all together.
You know what I feel bad for? Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, Malik, you're just going to have to tough it out.
Oh, shit.
You're just going to have to tough it out, Malik, because Shadur Sanders is coming. They're going to get Sanders, I think. I think they're definitely in top contention to get him because they're one of the teams that could be the worst overall this year. Yeah. They're really bad. I mean,
3 wins? 4?
Bro, Daniel Jones in the preseason game against the Texans, 2 picks.
And bad picks.
Bad picks.
Not like a defense made a good play like they did, but
the one where he's getting sacked in the back of just take the safety, bro. He's in the back of the end zone, wrapped up, already about to be on the ground, and just fling something over to whoever was in the flat. And it's like, if you're gonna try to do that, throw it in the dirt so you don't get the safety.
Like,
but,
how do you have the arm strength now?
Right, and then it's like then he throws it, and the receiver's just standing there like, bro, what is going on? I thought he was down, and then pick six. And then, like, the very next drive, throws a bad ball when Stingley had him locked up one-on-one. How do you even think that was open? Like, it wasn't even open. I think their coach tried to say, oh, it was a good read, just Stingley made a good play. Like, if he would have put it a little bit, no. It was boxed. That wasn't the read.
There was nothing there.
That definitely wasn't the read. That
was a closed book.
It was locked
up,
sealed the whole time. Stingley's running on this dude's hip, and you're talking about I think that was definitely the right pass. I think if he would have put it a little, no, bro, it was not good.
Yeah, if he would have thrown it to the other side of the field.
Right. Maybe if he would have thrown it to the other receiver that was probably open, maybe. I don't know. Then we probably would have had a good play. But, yeah, Daniel Jones, I'm not. If he wasn't able to run the ball, he'd be out of a job.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if he didn't have the upside of he can do a read option and go, and, like, he's, like, sneaky fast or whatever. Like, he'd be going for, like, 60-yard runs and shit. If he wasn't doing that, he definitely wouldn't have gotten no contract. And, yeah, I think that they're definitely in the pool for getting Shadur Sanders. And they should if they, like, if they're actually serious about the future. Like, Daniel Jones isn't going to get you over
Dart.
the hump. Yeah, or Dart, or somebody. Somebody that's not Daniel Jones needs to go.
Ewers is
he's a senior?
Yeah, he's a senior.
Yeah, that could be a play. They have to draft a quarterback this year.
Yeah, or that USC quarterback. I don't know his name, but he was nice.
But he's probably going to play a couple years, though. He's probably not just going to play 1 year.
Yeah.
But I think Sanders is definitely the guy. He's gonna be the guy this draft.
They're gonna do the thing with like, what's his name, Drew Brees, or like how they're talking about with Caleb this year, or no, it was Eli, where he
didn't go there.
Yeah, he's gonna do that. I feel like he's gonna go to a team that he wants to go to,
right?
Or that
and
Barry, or what's his name? Yeah, Barry.
Yeah, he has the way about him that he would definitely. He's not gonna just go to the sticks, bro. He's gonna go somewhere where they're really serious.
Yeah.
And I just feel bad from the league. I think he can still have a good season, but it really just depends. Like, there's going to be games where he eats and Daniel Jones has time and they're really going to feast. He's decent. Daniel Jones is decent at throwing the football, and he can make some plays and stuff. Yeah. And I think Malik will have a decent year, probably right at 1,000 yards, but I'm not. I feel bad for him, and I don't know. The Giants should probably just do whatever they can to, like, convince Sanders to please come here and save our franchise, or try to at least.
Who's their RB?
Motor Singletary.
He finessed a crazy bag, huh?
Bro, Motor Singletary, like, just he got like a $30 million contract, I think, from the Giants, bro. Motor. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Motor, though. I fucks with Motor, bro. Motor ate at the end of the season, so I can't even hate on bro. But, like, and it's funny because he's wearing 26 like Barkley, you know what I'm saying? So, like, this dude's just going, dude, he's just stealing shit. He's stealing numbers. He's stealing money. Motor, bro. I hope he eats, bro. I like
up in the century.
I like Motor, bro. Just the nickname in general, Motor Singletary, is crazy, bro.
I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna work there. But that doesn't mean that he's not a good running back.
He's good. He's definitely shifty. He be going through the line and stuff. He's a good receiving back as well. I fucks with Motor, bro.
Yeah.
But if I mean, I don't know.
It's crazy that he was like backpacking the carries last year for y'all.
I know, like, it's because Damian Pierce, boy. I don't know what happened to Damian Pierce, man. I mean, he was good. His rookie year was phenomenal, and I was excited. I was like, okay, we got the next guy. Like, this guy's gonna be it. Last year, they say he was hurt, which he was hurt a little bit, but he just seems like he just lost his vision. Even this year, I was like, okay, this year, because last year they were saying the blocking scheme and it was different, and he didn't really understand it or was getting used to it, and I understand all that, but we're in year 2 of this, Bobby Slowick and stuff, and he's in the preseason getting absolutely stuffed. Like, it's not our starting offensive line out there, and they could block a little bit better. Especially in the interior, wasn't blocking the best in the preseason games. But I mean, Cam Akers was still able to get some yards, and he's coming off of every single injury in the book. He's had like 2 Achilles, an ACL. I mean, damn, this dude was able to get yards. We have other running backs that was getting in there that looked just fine. Was able to make some plays. It's like Dameon Pierce. He just runs, and there's a big group of people right here, and he just goes right into the group of people. No finesse, no nothing. Just I'm gonna take the handoff. Is this
point A to point B?
Right. I'm gonna take the handoff and just go right here. It's like, well, you see that there's no lane right there, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe let's try to bounce it or cut or something. He just barrels into like 5 people. It's not gonna work.
Maybe he needs a new helmet.
But his first year, he had vision and he was getting lanes and shit. I don't know what happened.
He needs to put that Revo speed on.
I know. He had that kickoff return last year though, so maybe just run him at kick return, honestly. And I think with kick return, he can catch the ball and like see the blocking develop and like move around. But getting straight handoffs, I almost damn near don't even want to see him come in sometimes. Like, why? I don't know. I don't think Jawar made it.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately. I just think we just had too many backs, and I think they kept more receivers than you. You know how some teams you might keep more back.
We kept 3 running backs.
Right. So we kept a decent amount. I know it's Mixon, Dare, Agumbawale, and Dameon Pierce are like basically the main 3, and then we have some practice squad guys. But
Jawar might make the practice squad though, huh?
They came out with the practice squad, like who made it or whatever, the little practice squad roster, and he wasn't on there. There was some other like JJ Taylor or somebody that was on it for the run. He was like the only running back that made it, but I feel like practice squad is kind of weird because I feel like that thing that they put out or whatever that said who's on the practice squad, there's probably going to be more players that are actually on the practice squad. I don't know what
That's crazy though, because Jawar was like
he did good.
First 6 weeks of the season, college last year, he was in the Heisman contingent.
Right. He was looking good to me. He had one game, I think it was the second game, where he really put it on. Like I think he had like 56 yards, nearly 60 yards, and like it's not like he had a bunch of carries just the preseason. And he looked good to me. He's somebody that I definitely see like next year or whatever, really like actually getting a spot and coming out. I think he just came onto the team at a bad time. Yeah. Like if he would have
last year,
year he would probably be running back 2, guaranteed. Yeah. But this year, you get Mixon. Mixon's getting all the carries, by the way. Like I don't see like there being
there might be a 5.
There might be a touch here and there because Mixon needs a water break and some air, but we're not going to be sitting here acting like we're going to do some type of split with Dameon Pierce. Like Mixon is going to be on the field at all times, and he deserves to be on the field at all times because he's the most dynamic. He's the best back we have.
He's good at everything.
Right, he's good at everything, and he can play 3 downs. He's proved that. There's no need for Pierce to be getting like more than 10% of the work at all.
Like, 2 running back sets at the moment.
Right. Like, I don't even want to see a 70-30. No. Like, no 70-30. Dameon Pierce needs to get LASIK or something so he can see where the offensive line is blocking.
With a prescription visor.
And there's no way the blocking scheme changed up that much to where it's like, I have no idea what... I mean, at the end of the day... You get the handoff.
You go left, right, middle.
You get the handoff. You get the toss, and you run, and you find a lane, and you go. Like I mean, I get maybe hey, we're gonna be blocked. We're gonna slant down this time, and it's gonna create so that. But I mean, come on, bro. Yeah. Like you've been playing running back your whole life, and now all of a sudden they switched up the blocking a little bit, and now we just don't know where to go. That's impossible. That's impossible. That's impossible. He might have just had a good little just Mickey run and just we'll always remember rookie season Dameon Pierce and it'll go down in the books, but it just ain't coming back. We just gotta say it was just a little insanity run and just chalk it up to the game because I don't know what he got going on. But here's all I gotta talk about. Yeah, man. Another good episode. Another good sesh. Chase, Mace, Doughboys, two boys, two bros, and we just coming at it with the latest sports with our info, and more coming.
Yeah,
more
sports
on the way. We appreciate all the support that we've gotten already. We're just starting out, so we're still playing with things, we're still fixing things and getting stuff how we want it and playing with our content a little bit and stuff. But we're just excited for what's to come. We appreciate y'all sticking with us and just tap in. You know what I'm saying? Come on for the ride. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna keep it going, and we're not stopping. We're going into NBA season. We're going into it's Christmas.
No.
It's gonna be Christmas time. We're gonna be here, so we not stopping. We got the ball rolling, and now it's just going up here. So yeah, man.
Tap in for the yapping. Yeah.
Tap in for the yapping.
Yes, sir.
Show your friends.
Your mom, your dad,
your girl. Show everybody and come hang with the fellas.
There we go.